This is the first episode of what we like to call Chiefs Wire Channel TV specials. We're still working on the name. It's a work in progress. But I'm Ed Easton Jr. I have Mitch Carney. I have Talon Graff. You can actually see us. Usually you hear us on the podcast, Chiefs Wire podcast, every week. But since it's the off season, we're going to do something a little special, have you guys see us a little bit, have some images on of the team and some of the players that we're talking about. And this is the free agency special for the Chiefs. So, guys, I'm going to let you introduce yourselves a little bit. Talon, how's it going, man?
Yeah, it's going well. Can't complain. And it's weird. It's March, but I'm smack dab in the middle of a football season. So it's, everything's topsy-turvy, but, man, I love it. Love it. Cannot wait for the draft and looking forward to another season of Chiefs football.
Definitely. And Mitch, how's it going, man?
It's good. Mitch. I mean, it just felt like the season just ended, and we're back right in it again. With NFL free agency, kind of wrapping up here, and then getting right into the draft. It just feels like the NFL season is year round, which can sometimes be a lot, but I love it, and I'm ready to get going again.
Definitely, guys. And like I said, it's just great to actually see you guys for the first time doing this type of show. So hope you guys are enjoying it as well. And let's just get right into it. The off season is underway. Free agents are signing different places now. How about we just get started with the favorite Chiefs signing so far this off season? And Mitch, let's start with you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, if you watch the Super Bowl, people are, really upset with Mike Rimmer's performance. But I thought he was a really good signing. I thought he was a really good person to bring back. He filled in for Mitchell Schwartz whenever he got hurt. I think it was against the Bills in like week 5 or 6 or something like that. I might be wrong on the week. But, he played actually really well at right tackle. I mean, I had no problems with him. I mean, he wasn't as good as Mitchell Schwartz, but he did the job. He looked like a starting right tackle. It wasn't until the Super Bowl when he was forced to move to the left side because, every offensive lineman was just hurt at that point. That's when he really struggled, but I like bringing him back for the price he did, just to be on that right side, just because there's so much uncertainty at the tackle position right now. Yes, we have Lucas Niang, who the Chiefs have talked really highly of, but the dude is still a rookie. He has yet to play a snap in the NFL. So just having Mike Rimmers, who does have experience and who's had success at least at that right tackle spot, is a really good signing. I think we need to find somebody on the left side. I don't want to move Mike Rimmers over there, but just at that right side and as a depth piece, if they do want to start Niang, he's a very good signing, a very good depth piece to have.
Yeah, 100%. I like Rimmers. I'm glad he's back. I think he can help the Chiefs out a lot. Just, as Mitch said, don't put him on the left side. We'll be fine. But, man, the big one, Joe Thuney. Anytime you got a big-name offensive lineman coming to protect Patrick Mahomes, you have to get excited about that. Unfortunately, they missed out on some other big-name offensive linemen. But, man, getting Thuney and solidifying that left guard spot is money. It's gold. Because now all of a sudden you have your assuming LTD is good to go, and I think that's why you bring in Kai Long as well. But you have your left side guard solidified. You have your right guard, either LTD, Kai Long, not ideal, but you have options there. Everything is, once you get that solid factor there, which Schwartz was. He was that staple. I think now you have Thuney as that staple, and he's going to be for the next, 5, 6, 7 years, hopefully. For me, Joe Thuney, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do in a Chiefs uniform and keeping Mahomes upright.
Guys, I agree completely. I mean, you have to address the offensive line, and getting a guy like Thuney that has the experience. You played under a Bill Belichick system. The main thing with him is discipline. And you want a disciplined offensive line. You want a guy, his job is out there to make sure Patrick Mahomes is okay. And we all saw the Super Bowl. We all saw what happened. We saw Mahomes got a little nicked up even in the game against the Browns, which affected him further during the playoffs. So Thuney was the smart pickup. You have to do it. Remmers as well. You want some familiarity on that line. And having LTD possibly, coming back, we still don't know the official word if he's going to be back this season. You have sort of like a base to what you want your offensive line to be. The whole Lucas Niang thing is something as well. These are all prospects that you need for this offensive line. I'm happy that was the first thing they addressed. It was a bit scary, though, when you heard who they did let go earlier in the week, which we are going to address now. Obviously, Mitchell Schwartz, I mean, what else could you say? Like the guy has been such a big player for them, Eric Fisher as well. When you heard those two names being let go by the Chiefs, and I want to start with you, Talon, what were you thinking right away on this?
And you don't see that every day when you got two tackles that have been starting for your team on each side of the ball for years. And all of a sudden they're both gone in the blink of an eye. And it's a little scary to think about. And even though knowing there's a young guy, Niang, very unproven, not really know what he could bring to the table, even though the hype is kind of there. It's a scary thing. And you think, Trent Williams was going to be the apple of Veach's eye. And unfortunately that fell through. And, you get Tooney. But it's a scary thought to think you're going to have two new guys in there that have been there for 3, 4, 5 years. And when you got an investment like Patrick Mahomes and seeing what can happen if you don't have the guys up front to do the job, it was a scary thought. But the faith in Veach is there. I think it has to be there for the Chiefs Kingdom. There's no other option. What has he done to make us lack a little bit of faith, other than a few second, third round misses? But other than that, he knows what he's doing, and anytime Veach does anything, he's thinking 7 moves down the road. So he's already thought this through a million times over, and he's not going to do anything that puts his team in immediate jeopardy. So, and Veach we trust, and let's see what he puts together. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, and I'll agree with Talon. I'm a little worried just because I felt like whenever we first got rid of Mitchell Schwartz and Eric Fisher, I was okay with it. I was comfortable because I kind of felt like, okay, Veach has a plan. And I just felt like, okay, we're going to go out to get Trent Williams because that was the rumor that was going around. It was obvious the Chiefs were going to try to get him. When that fell through, I just felt like we haven't had a backup plan to get another left tackle. I mean, yeah, we have the right side kind of fixed up with Remmers and Niang. But on this left side, I just don't know what we're doing. So I'm a little nervous just because that left side is considered the second most important position in football. But I have trust in Brett Veach. He's going to figure it out. I hope he signs somebody before the draft because I don't want to make the draft to where we have to, get the first available left tackle. But, I have faith that he'll get the right guy and that this offense will be able to run somewhat smoothly in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and the thing, and this is Coach Heck is big on this, is his versatile offensive lineman, and everybody we've named is a versatile offensive lineman. Heck, Tooney played tackle last year, and if need be, he could play tackle again. Niang can play either side of the ball. He could play guard. All these guys can play different positions. But one thing, and this will be my last point on this, is I don't want a versatile offensive lineman at left tackle. I want a left tackle at left tackle. So I love the versatile lineman. I love, bringing all these guys in, but let's leave that to the other 4 positions. I want the left tackle to be the staple. I want that to be the rock. And if we have to plug and play the left tackle side, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so difficult. It's just there's no plan right now, or at least we don't see a plan right now. It just seems like it's very okay, who are we going to get? Who's going to be that guy in the draft? That's what makes it so stressful right now as Chiefs fans. It's just there's just nothing we can do about it besides just hope that Brett Veach gets the right guy, just because, we put all our eggs in one basket for Trent Williams.
You know what, guys? I am not surprised that you guys are going to give the great logical answers that you gave and just avoid the sentimental goodbyes that we're going to have for a guy like Damian Williams, Obviously, he wasn't with the team last year, but what he did in the Super Bowl and, having to hear that he was one of the cuts, that's a big deal. Obviously not going to bring back Sammy Watkins. You guys just want to share some thoughts on both players and their tenure with the Chiefs. And Mitch, I want to start with you on that.
Yeah, first I'll talk about Damian Williams. I mean, that dude was phenomenal. As a Kansas City Chief, he has the postseason record for most touchdowns. The dude was just a baller. It's unfortunate that, we cut him this year, but it's a business. He'll always have a special place in my heart, and I think he'll have a special place in Chiefs fans' heart, getting that game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl to, win us it first time in 50 years. But, we drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire to be our guy, so you got to get him the reps to be the number 1 running back. And then you just kind of figure out the rest behind him. So they like Darrell Williams. I like Darrell too. He's had success in the passing and running game. He's more of a power back. Darwin Thompson's still a guy. I think Talon, you're still pretty high on him. So he's just, we got to figure that out at running back. So if he can save some money, we can save some money. So that's just business. Sammy Watkins, I'm okay with him leaving. The dude has never been on the field. He's always hurt. He's had some big plays, but for the most part, he just hasn't been on the field. So I don't want to waste money. I know as of right now, as we're recording this, he's still a free agent. I know he's been visiting Baltimore, and I think he's on his way to Indy. If for some reason the Chiefs did want to bring him back and he was willing to come back, I'm okay with it, but it would have to be on a very cheap deal, very team friendly. I don't want to get in a bidding war for this guy just because he's not on the field. And we have Nicole Hardman, we have Byron Pringle, and honestly, I think we should probably sign another free agent wide receiver or at least draft somebody just to be kind of that next guy, just because either of them haven't been the next guy. But I'm okay with letting Sammy go just because he's just never healthy, unfortunately.
Yeah, this stuff is always emotional at times, and really, and now with the Chiefs fans, we've never, Alex Smith and Priest Holmes and guys like that, has always been emotional to see them walk away. But now, with the Super Bowl fresh in our memories, Damian Williams hits a little bit harder, just because that the image of him breaking away, and that was like the moment for everybody. That for me, that's when the tears started. So yeah, seeing number 26 galloping down the sideline, that image is seared forever in our brains, and it sucks that we're not going to have him around anymore, but it is a business, and shake his hand. Thank you for your contribution. You got a ring. Good luck, and wherever you land. So it is what it is for me. He will always be a fan favorite. But yeah, he just, I don't know what he would have contributed that we don't already have in the locker room. So again, it's great that he was a big part of what the Chiefs accomplished, but it's time to move on for both parties. But and Sammy Watkins, I share a lot of the same sentiments. It was cool, when he came in, and obviously kind of the same boat. He definitely played a hand in the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. So again, all the respect in the world for the guy. He just has issues staying healthy and being on the field, and if you can't do that, there's just not a spot for you. And so, yeah, I don't foresee them bringing him back. If they do, I think it's going to be just not necessarily a desperation move, but just we need somebody, and he's somebody that we're familiar with, and it's one of those deals. But yeah, I'm okay to see both of them go, but emotionally, yeah, it kind of hits harder for Damian.
Two guys that helped change the culture into the winning culture that the Chiefs are in right now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And like you guys said, Watkins is still a possibility. May not be a strong possibility by the way he's visiting teams, but we will see. All right, guys. So just to wrap up this portion of our talk, is there a player out there that you would be very interested in the Chiefs taking a look at before this offseason's over that is a free agent right now? And Talon, I want to get your thoughts on this.
Someone that I've kind of had my eye on is Alejandro Villanueva, the former left tackle for the Steelers. He's an older guy. He's in his early 30s, and the best years behind him. He's probably, doesn't have that many good years left, but he's still a starting caliber left tackle, and there's a lot of guys out there that are worse than him. You could do a lot worse, and I think he's still a top 15, possibly top 10 starting left tackle in the league. So he's better than what we have in-house. So I think he's worth a look. He's worth a visit. And he started late in his career. I think he was almost 30 by the time he became a starter. But once he became a starter, he was kind of an Iron Man type of player. He rarely missed games, rarely missed time. So he's a guy that you can trust. And I wouldn't mind if the Chiefs gave him a look.
Yeah, I'll agree with Talon. I think you're a little higher on him than I am. But we just need somebody at left tackle, and he's proven himself to be a starter at least. But I mean, I'm going to name a couple other guys that I think that you should go after, and these are guys that have already been on the team. We still need a cornerback, so I would totally bring back Bashad Breeland. He's a dude who's comfortable with the system. Spags likes him. And then also at center, I'd bring in Austin Ryder. I mean, the dude still hasn't signed yet. The Chiefs gave in an offer. They gave an offer to him. He hasn't signed it yet. We need a center right now. Those are just two places that we really need to shore up on the team. So I'd bring those guys back for sure.
It will definitely be interesting to see what Brett Veach and Andy Reid come up with, especially with the way the draft is coming up now. We're having pro days. There's no combine. I can really see a lot more trades happening during this draft. So the Chiefs, we're definitely going to talk about it on the next video in regards to breaking down the draft. And I can see Talon just chomping at the bit right now. So you know what, Talon? I want your early thoughts on the draft because I can see you right now ready to say something.
I'm this close to pounding the table for Eichenberg, like this close. I'm falling in love with him more and more. But yeah, we'll get into it come draft time. But there's a lot of guys to talk about.
Indeed, we will definitely break that down. I'm just going to let Talon just say everything he wants. He's going to come out with his list, and it's going to be great. But guys, once again, thank you for joining us. And this is the first of what will be many Chiefs Wire TV channel specials as we start doing this offseason heading into the new year. I'm Ed Easton Jr. For Talon Graff, Mitch Carney. Check us out next time.